You're walking down the street, a guy brushes past you wearing a steel sports watch, and in half a second, your brain has already decided he's successful, dangerous, or both. You didn't check the time on his wrist. You didn't see the dial. You just saw that crown logo and that unmistakable bezel, and boom, instant status downloaded. That, my friends, is Rolex doing its dark magic. The question that's been eating me alive is simple. Are we buying the best watch money can buy, or are we all victims of the greatest branding flex in human history? Smash that like button right now if you've ever stared at a Rolex waiting list and felt actual physical pain. Let's dive in. Imagine it's 1926. Some Swiss dude named Hans Wilsdorf is sitting in London obsessed with one thing: making a wristwatch that doesn't suck. Pocket watches are still king, wristwatches are seen as jewelry for women, and everything fogs up the second it gets wet. Hans decides he's going to change that. He creates the Oyster, the world's first truly waterproof case. To prove it, he sticks one on a swimmer named Mercedes Gleitz, who's trying to swim the English Channel. She comes out after 10 hours in freezing water, watch still ticking. Front page news. Overnight, Rolex becomes the watch that conquered water. Fast forward 1 year. He slaps a perpetual rotor in there, the world's first reliable self-winding movement, boom again. Then he gives one to Sir Malcolm Campbell, the lunatic who kept trying to break the land speed record in the 1930s. Campbell hits 300 miles per hour wearing nothing but a Rolex and a death wish. Headlines scream, Rolex equals indestructible. That's when Hans does something absolutely diabolical. He stops selling watches and starts selling stories. Every single iconic Rolex you know today was born the same way. Real adventure, insane marketing stunt, legend created. The Submariner, they strapped it to a submarine and sent it 7 miles deep with Jacques Piccard in 1960. Came back perfect. The GMT, Pan Am pilots needed to track 2 time zones because jet lag was new and terrifying. Rolex hands them the GMT Master. Pepsi bezel becomes the unofficial uniform of commercial aviation. The Daytona, named after the racetrack where Rolex basically bought the timing rights. Suddenly, every racing driver on Earth wants one. See the pattern? Rolex doesn't chase trends. They invent the need, then become the only answer. Now let's talk cold hard cash. A brand new steel Daytona at retail is supposed to be $14,550. Good luck finding one. The average flip price right now is north of 40 grand. A Submariner Hulk that retailed for $9,500 in 2020 now trades used for $25,000 to $30,000. That's not appreciation, that's insanity. So what are you actually paying for when you finally get one? First, the build. Let's be real, it's stupidly good. 904L steel that literally no one else uses because it's harder to machine and polish. Ceramic bezels that don't scratch. Parachrome hairsprings that laugh at magnetism. The clasp on a new Submariner glides like it's floating on angel tears. Fit and finish? God tier. The movement? The current 32 series is one of the most accurate, reliable, abuse-proof mechanical movements ever made. 70-hour power reserve, plus or minus 2 seconds a day, and it'll probably run for 50 years if you don't drown it in tequila. But here's the dirty secret nobody wants to say out loud. There are watches that do all of that better right now for the same money or less. Grand Seiko Spring Drive, smoother second hand than any Rolex, insane finishing, and you can actually walk into a boutique and buy one today. Omega Seamaster 300M, same 15,000 Gauss anti-magnetism, meta certification that's tougher than Rolex's superlative chronometer, and you'll save 8 grand. Tudor Black Bay, literally made in the same factory, same steel, same bracelets, half the price. So why does Rolex win? Because none of those watches make strangers on the street think you're rich. That's it. That's the entire game. Rolex figured out decades ago that most people don't buy a watch to tell time. They buy it to tell a story about themselves without opening their mouth. Rolex is the ultimate cheat code. One glance and the world assumes you've got the big office, the hot spouse, the offshore account. Doesn't matter if you bought it on a payment plan or if it's fake. The halo works either way. It's the same reason people lease a BMW instead of buying a faster, more reliable Honda for cash. It's not about transportation, it's about the signal. And Rolex protects that signal like a dragon guarding gold. Limited production even when demand is insane. Gray market dealers get threatened. ADs who sell to flippers lose their allocation. They'd rather have 2-year waiting lists than let the brand become common. The result is exclusivity on steroids. Owning one feels like getting into the club everyone wants to be in. But here's where it gets dark. There are kids right now camping outside boutiques in Tokyo, grown men paying relationships to ADs just to get offered a date just, and influencers faking wealth with Amazon wraps. Because the real thing is impossible. Rolex has created a secondary market that's basically the luxury version of sneakers and PS5 scalping. So is it worth the hype? If you want the best mechanical watch for the money, no. There are better watches at every price point. If you want the smoothest, most bomb-proof daily beater that will never let you down, maybe, but still probably not. If you want the one object that instantly communicates "I've made it" to 99% of humans on the planet, there is literally nothing that comes close. Not a Patek, not an AP, not a Richard Mille covered in diamonds. Rolex is the Coca-Cola of watches. Everybody knows the logo. Everybody understands the code. So the real answer is brutal. Rolex is worth exactly what people are willing to pay for the feeling it gives them. Nothing more, nothing less. Me? I own one. A no-date sub. I waited 18 months, buttered up an AD like a politician, and paid retail. Do I love the watch? Yes. Would I do it again knowing what I know now? Honestly, maybe not. If you're here for the horology, go buy a Grand Seiko and thank me later. If you're here for the game, welcome to the cult. Just know what you're signing up for. Either way, drop in the comments the one watch you think actually beats Rolex at its own game. Best answer gets pinned. If this video made you rethink that waiting list, smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications because next week we're doing the most overhyped watch of 2025 and you do not want to miss it. TikTok, baby. See you in the next one.